This episode of the Blerd Mob contains explicit language. While we want everyone to enjoy the show, sometimes we may say things that are not appropriate for all ages. So, in other words, Mom, Dad, Granny, we cussing. Discretion is advised.
King G, Grow Site, ENT. Rock with it, rock with it, rock with it, rock with it. Let me pop my shit. Let me pop my shit. Hands up.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Blerd Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I'm your host, Foot, joined by my two co-hosts, Ryan and Ralph. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other streaming service, make sure you hit that follow button so you can get updates from the mob.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those bell notifications for future uploads.
We are back after a month plus of hiatus. We have finally made it back in the studio for episode 19. It's been a long time. A lot of stuff has been going on. I moved. Ryan moved. We went on a couple trips. So we're back. We spent a lot of money. So we are back in the studio. Everything has settled down, so we are back to give you some blerdy content. So I really just want to catch up on what's been going on with everybody. I mentioned that I moved. Me and two friends of mine, we got a house. So I got my original Nerd Cave backdrop back instead of the corner that I was shimmying in my apartment.
Let me put you on full screen so I can check it out real quick. On the screen. Let me look at it real quick.
So we back in this. I don't have my posters up yet, but those will be coming soon. But the fact that I just got all of my collectibles back up, it's a good time.
Okay.
So what's been going on with everybody? What have we been listening to? Is anything new we've been watching? Any new hobbies, interests? I just feel like we've been out the loop.
Well, since you bullied me about it earlier, I have discovered a very new hobby. It is called the collection of Funko Pops.
I did not bully you about them Funko Pops. I just said you went off the wall with because this is what happened for those listening. Ryan got a Funko Pop overnight, and then I blinked. I woke up the next morning and Ryan had 60 Funko Pops. He sent me a picture of a box full of nothing but Funko Pops. It
was my moving box.
It got extreme. I just feel like it got extreme.
I hope you got at least the collectible editions. That way you can resell them later.
Oh! I don't want Foop to bully me more, so I'm not going to tell you how much they cost. But if you see these stickers mean a lot. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent.
I was not bullying the man. But Ryan started his new hobbies is collecting Funko Pops. I haven't started any new hobbies. I think I've just been trying to settle into this new house. One thing I will say is I've been catching up on TV. The Harley Quinn show is back, so I'm definitely been watching that. I finished Stranger Things season 4 finally. I watched the Obi-Wan series. I watched Ms. Marvel. So really, this summer with no app to work on, no school, hiatus from the podcast, I've just had time to catch up on TV. Reading wise, I'm reading Injustice 2. Yeah, focus on myself. I've been reading Injustice 2. Yeah. I've been getting back into playing games, so I got Mario Strikers Battle League. Been playing that, and they dropped another wave of tracks for Mario Kart 8, so I played those yesterday. So yeah,
I ain't even opened my Mario Strikers game yet.
The only complaint that I have about Mario Strikers Battle League is the roster. It's like 10 characters, and you have to make a team of 4. So it's not like you and the person you're playing against could have like the exact same team. And I'm not saying that's bad, but like, where's the variety? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think what they're doing is the additional characters are coming as DLCs. They dropped like a couple weeks ago that they're about to add Daisy to Battle League, which I'm excited for because I love Daisy as a character. Like in any sports game, she's an all-around type character. So I was pretty pissed when I first loaded the game and didn't see her on there. But so it looks like they're increasing the rosters through DLCs, and that's fine. But that was my only complaint.
Yeah.
As far as the rest of the game, did we?
Yeah,
maybe we did. I talked to you guys about the roster,
outside
but
of the podcast, yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
I hope they continue to support it because it seems like they're actually supporting Mario Kart, but I don't know if that's because everybody been complaining about where the next one is or not. But hopefully they support it.
But they got these waves. Like I feel like the only support they've been giving Mario Kart is with them dropping this booster pack.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but they did a good job supporting what's that game, Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah.
So hopefully they give strikers like that necessary, like, hey, get that roster up to at least 20 people or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like some more characters would be great. But that's me. Ron talked about his Funko collection. What about you, Ralph?
Some things I've been watching ever since our hiatus. I've watched Baki Hanma. I've started watching Vinland Saga. That got added to Netflix recently. It's pretty good so far. Yeah, it just got added.
How you
to
like
Netflix
it?
very recently. I would say it's interesting. I've only watched like 2 or 3 episodes so far because I've been busy with other things. We'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, I've started that. I'm back watching Attack on Titan with my girl. And I finished Umbrella Academy. And when I say I was sad that it's ending, I wanted to cry.
I gotta finish. I'm halfway through Umbrella Academy Season 3. Like, I think I started that and Stranger Things at the same time. And then Stranger Things just got so good. And I was like, we gonna come back to Umbrella Academy.
I would say definitely finish it. It has a nice ending, in my opinion. It was definitely a few things that I kind of questioned, but I understand after finishing it now, kind of like what the end goal was for one of the characters.
So is Season 3 the last season? This is the last season?
That's what they made it seem like. It wasn't, any teaser or anything, Lex, like after it finished, but that's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like that was kind of like the end. You'll see. I don't want to spoil it for you or anybody else that maybe trying to get into it as well. But it's good. I enjoy it.
We'll come back. We'll spin the block once I finish Umbrella Academy Season 3. We'll spin the block.
But something else.
So what's else been up?
So as you guys know, except I don't think the listeners will know yet, I am preparing myself to start streaming. I want to start streaming after my final trip in August. I will be going to Nashville, so I'll be starting streaming that August 22nd week, somewhere up in there. I want to have a consistent
Sounds like
schedule.
I'm gonna have to make me a Twitch account.
Yes,
I gotta remember the password to my Twitch account.
I ain't got one, so it seems like I'm gonna have to make a Twitch account to support Ralph.
But yeah, so I have been busy trying to get things together for that. I've spent money on a new PC, just trying to make sure, I have the basics of what I feel like. Because I feel like my OCD will get to me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know it doesn't fit the way I want it to look, I want to hold myself up to a certain standard, even though I am just starting. So I want to at least have, the basics.
I was the same way when I was first starting the podcast. I was like, I gotta have this stuff. Like, it doesn't feel right for me to not have everything I need. And it was kind
Right.
of like I don't necessarily need it to start, but something just didn't feel right in here for me not having what I needed to start, what I felt like I needed to start the podcast. So I feel you 100%
Right.
on getting your
Yeah.
equipment and stuff.
But yes.
Let's talk music. There's
Beyonce
been some
album.
singles dropping. Yeah, I was gonna get to Beyonce's album, but it's been some singles dropping throughout the summer.
It
But
has.
the staple of my summer was Renaissance. It was. I feel like, to be honest, this might be my favorite Beyonce album, beside B-Day. This might be my favorite Beyonce album. I think it's just the vibe of it, like the vibe that she was going for with this being a dance album. Because I think we're
Yeah.
all used to Beyonce like putting out like love songs, and sometimes she does step out of her element and do something different. But
Yeah.
I just feel like what she did with this album was like completely different from what she's done before. And I would say that she executed it very well. And the elements of it, like for me, behind the scenes, she had a lot of Black queer producers
Mhm.
on the album. Some of the songs she had Sheila E., which used to play drums for Prince, is on one of the songs. It's a lot of Prince influence. There's samples from like Donna Summer, and they're like, I could tell that she put a lot into this album. And not saying that Beyonce doesn't put a lot into her album, but like knowing the background. Like if you guys ever listen to not the internet, but Sid, I don't think she's a part of the internet, but she's a Black queer musician, a Black lesbian musician, and she co-produced one of the songs on the album, Plastic Off the Sofa.
Okay.
So I think it was a really nice album. If I could describe it, I would say this album is very gay. This album is very gay.
Look, as a compliment.
As a compliment, this
Not an insult.
this is not an insult. Like Alien Superstar is my favorite. Like when I first heard it, I was like, Beyonce, what? And then I think the best thing about it is that people started putting Alien Superstar over like the Magical Girl transformations. So they did Sailor Moon, another girl from I didn't watch the show, but they did a Starfire transition, which I thought felt perfectly. And I was just like, yeah, this is the one.
Okay.
But that is my highlight album of the summer. It is.
Now, while we're still on Beyonce's
My confession is that I have not listened to it yet.
I think you should listen to it.
Yeah.
Listen to it. I think it's really nice. One of the songs I think you would like, Ryan, just because I know you're a Drake fan, Heated, Drake wrote that song. And when you listen to it, you can feel that Drake vibe. It kind of reminds me of One Dance, how the beat goes. I think you would like that one.
Okay, because I'm still catching up. Like, I did 2 full listens of Drake's new album. Still haven't done a full listen of Kendrick's, even though I found the songs I like off of it. But I do need to check out Beyonce, because my last Beyonce album that I really liked was her Afrobeats one. Had that kind of golden cover on it.
You talking about Black is King?
It was like, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the last Beyonce album
I don't
really
think
like
I listened
enjoyed.
to. I don't think I listened to that one. I think around that time I was kind of falling off Beyonce, but she snatched me back. Drake's album. The only song I like off of Drake's album is Jimmy Crooks with 21 Savage, and it's the last song.
Makes
and
sense.
I hate that I like it because the vibe of that song versus the vibe of the rest of the album is not the same.
No. I would say
Yeah.
21 Savage has had a trend of saving a few Drake songs.
I would.
21 Savage has definitely had a trend of saving a few Drake songs.
I will
really
say
like
this.
both of.
I
I really like both of them, and you're not wrong.
You're not wrong, because this Jimmy Crook song. My favorite part about it is 21's verse. And let's talk about. Let's go back to Certified Lover Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Would we have enjoyed Knife Talk the same way had 21 not been on the song?
I'm gonna be real. Knife Talk is a 21 Savage song. Listen,
no,
I love that album, but Knife Talk is a 21 Savage song. That is some hood.
So I have
stuff.
to. That's some controversy, but I have to agree with Ralph that the 21 Drake combo is a very nice combo. It is.
I would say if
better
you didn't
than
pick
Drake
21,
and Future.
No,
I feel like
wait,
Drake and Future is a different type vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Ralph. Go ahead.
So I would say if he did not pick 21 Savage, he would have had to pick J. Cole. He would have had to.
Because for that vibe, though.
J. Cole brought.
I don't know.
Brought the heat.
I don't think Cole.
I would have to if we pull. Let's go back to Knife Talk, because we've all heard Knife Talk.
For that song.
For that song, I would not have put J. Cole in that position. That song would not. I feel like Drake and J. Cole have different sounds. Like, I don't feel like a mesh between Drake and J. Cole would go well. Just because of J. Cole's sound and because of Drake's sound. Like, I just don't feel like that is a combination that would mesh.
It depends on how they get used too. Like, for a good J. Cole Drake song, I don't want Drake dropping bars. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I love Drake,
he would have to sing. He would have to sing.
He would have to sing, be on some chorus type ish. He can't be dropping bars if him and Cole
100%. I would agree with that 100%. If there's ever a Drake J. Cole crossover, Drake would have to sing. He can't. Mm-hmm. He can't, because somebody's flow. I'm gonna make a very good example of this. So, a couple weeks ago, Megan Thee Stallion and Future released a song called Pressurelicious. I don't like it because
I haven't even listened to it.
Megan's sound and Future sounds are different, but the way that they meshed it together, it felt like more of Future's song than Megan's. And nobody Future tried to match Megan's flow. Well, I won't say that. Megan tried to match Future's flow on the song.
Right.
And it does work out when somebody tries to match somebody's flow. Like, a good example of a female rapper in Future is Sir by Nicki Minaj. Future matched her flow on the song and it came out nice. But on this specific song, it did not feel like a Megan song. It felt like a Future song with Megan Thee Stallion on it. And I think that's what I disliked about it.
So, did you hear that song with Meg and Young Thug? I forgot the name of it. I don't think it got a music
Don't
video.
Stop?
Yeah. Did you feel like they worked well together?
I think so. I think because of Young Thug's style and the vibe that Megan was going for, I think it fit. Like, I feel like either one of them could have went hard on that song. Like, essentially, if you hear the beat, like the way it starts, it essentially could be a Young Thug song. Or if she took Thug out, it still could have been a Megan Thee Stallion song, I think.
Right. Okay.
And I
was gonna say I haven't listened to her song with Future yet, but I did like her bars with Thug and that one song she did with Lil Baby. That one went hard for me too.
Yeah, it's just finding, like, the vibes, I guess. So, but going back to your initial question about Drake and 21 Savage and Drake and Future, I just think it's a different vibe. Like, I feel like Drake and 21 is like, Drake is that kid from the suburbs and 21 is his best friend from the hood, and they ride out and make songs.
You can almost put Lil Baby. You can almost put Lil Baby in that area too.
And then Drake and Future is like, yeah, we're two dudes from the suburbs, and Drake is Drake and Future is Future. Jesus Christ, Ron.
Did he fall?
Keep going, you guys.
It sounded like he fell. Jesus Christ. But that's what I feel like the collabs are two different vibes.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's my thing on it. But
now
while Ron's fixing his light, another thing.
K-Camp's album.
King who?
K-Camp. You know, he came out with an album, I think the
K-Camp?
K-Camp?
Yeah.
K-Camp changed his name?
No, I said K-Camp.
He changed it to King?
I said K-Camp.
Yeah, I thought you said King. I swear you said King. Ralph, I swear. We're going to have to edit this.
I said K-Camp.
Okay.
Run it back.
Okay. So let's rewind. K-Camp's making
K-Camp.
music?
Yeah. He came out with an album.
K-Camp's making more music?
Yes.
I don't feel like that was a good choice. I don't feel like that was a good choice.
He should have waited 2 weeks.
He should have waited a while.
I did listen to it and I enjoyed it for the name of the album is Vibe Forever, and it did, fit that title. Like he wasn't trying to go out for like the whole hard hip hop. It was definitely like something you can ride out to on like a weekend and just relax to.
Okay. I'm gonna have to. I didn't know K Count was making new music, but I guess I'm gonna have to check it out because I do like K Count. So let's move on. So one thing that we did do as a collective, we went to Dreamcon. I know we mentioned this on the last episode, but now we are back from Dreamcon.
Stand up, sir.
And I want to share. I don't know. I feel like if Ryan stand up, he gonna knock some over. Be careful. Be careful. All right, now sit back down before you knock some over.
You're right. This setup is not stable yet.
So we're back from Dreamcon. We went to Dallas, Texas. So really, I just want to get, now that we're back and we sat on it and we've come down from the high of going to Dreamcon for the first time. So let's talk about our experience. For me, my favorite part was just being surrounded by so many Black people, Black content creators, Black cosplayers, Black podcasters, streamers, all being in this one place where we can all enjoy. Like, you see everybody and you know they enjoy the same things you do. Like, there's no question that this guy likes anime because it's what we're all here for. And just seeing that crowd in the Black joy, like seeing so many people excited to be here, seeing the dedication and the work that people put into their cosplays, like you could really tell that everybody had intentions of being here and their intentions. And there was nothing, I feel like there was nothing but positive vibes the whole time I was there. Like, just chopping it up with random people and like being able to share that excitement of being here, I think that Dreamcon was in that perspective was great for me. And also the information, like the panels, like I did go to a couple panels, but there were I want to shout out Dreamcon for making the panels that informative and knowing their audience. Like, they know that there are going to be content creators, cosplayers, podcasters, streamers, people who want to get into that type of industry, that they set up those panels. Like, we went to some really good ones that talked about marketing your content, getting sponsorships, what is it like to reach out to brands, when do you know you need a manager if you're already making content. We also went to one that talked about the legal side, like copywriting your logos, when to trademark, who to talk to when you need to trademark, what's considered legal and what's not, like the intricacies of even making partnerships with these bigger brands, like stuff that you know that you need to think about once you start making content, but it's just like, this is the business side of it. And I really appreciate the people who came out and took the time out of their day to share that information and to make those presentations. So my time at Dreamcon was great. I spent too much money though. We gonna talk about the amount of money that we spent later. But
yeah. See, my favorite part, the last thing that you touched on, my favorite part was definitely that information. Like, not gonna lie, I expected the nice cosplays. I expected the good energy. Now, the energy was higher than what I expected. I loved it.
mm-hmm.
But that information that I was passing out, like when Foop talks about even the young lady who was giving us the information on patents, copyrights, trademarks, full-fledged attorney, black attorney,
Mm-hmm.
loves anime, a part of the culture, not just, you know, black culture. She can folk. She also like the anime and everything. She know what we into. She know what everybody's striving for, like the common issues and questions that may come up. So she was able to address that. I felt like that was a very personable and customized experience.
And I like the way she taught it as well. Like when she got into trademarking and copyright, she used examples that made sense to us. And it wasn't just like her being an attorney and speaking a bunch of law talk and we don't know what the F is going on. Like she broke it down and used examples of like well-known figures and well-known brands for us to understand. And I highly appreciated that because like I'm a computer science major, Ryan's a computer science major. Like we not gonna understand this law stuff off the jump.
Right.
So I'm gonna need you to break it down for me to where I can understand. And I 100% appreciate that she did that.
Right. Like that was legit probably my favorite part. Like the actual educational panels, we had folks from Hypeland. We had even that panel where it was a whole bunch of managers and talent agencies, and some of those people actually worked with some of the content creators there at DreamCon, able to put us on game. That was my favorite part. Well, sadly, I missed the dodgeball tournament. I think y'all did too. I didn't get to participate in the gaming tournaments, but another thing that went hard, that went so hard, was the exhibit hall.
Yeah, we got to come back. We have to come back to the exhibit hall because when I tell you guys, I spent so much money. I spent so much money in that. I spent so much money in that exhibit hall, like
man.
So, what about you, Ralph?
I would say the thing that really attracted me the most was definitely the time that we spent, you know, listening to people, pretty much what you guys picked up on. But it was also a few, Lord Jesus, I'm having a brain fart. A few panels that I did enjoy. I definitely enjoyed something different that you guys may have picked was the Avatar panel that we went to. That was good. That was definitely fun. I enjoyed the information that they gave, and it made me think about, you know, how Korra is now the new beginning of Avatar as a whole now. So you know, it makes you wonder, like, who are they gonna give it to next? Like, what is that journey gonna be for the next Avatar that they come up with for a TV show if they do it? So
I think I appreciate people who made panels like that and were very intentional. Like the Avatar one was really good, and they could have just went up there and just talked bullshit about Avatar and, you know, just called it a panel. But I think the fact that they did like a deep dive analysis and they were very intentional of why we're up here talking about Avatar was something that I enjoyed.
And we actually got to sit down and have a talk with them too. Me and you, Fu. Yeah. We actually got to sit down and talk with them for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it was more so you.
Yeah, so it was really nice.
I was tired.
Okay, so this is my dislike about DreamCon, and it has nothing to do with DreamCon, nothing to do with RDC World. I almost pronounced it wrong. My bad. Yeah, I got it. And it has nothing to do with them. But like the first day I was there, I was so overwhelmed. One, we waited in line for like an hour to get in. It's hot as fucking Texas, if you guys didn't know.
Yes, Lord
Waiting
Jesus.
in the
I
hot
know.
sun, for like an hour and something to get in. Then we get in. We did see the Hood Jujutsu Kaisen movie from King Vader, which I thought was great.
I loved it.
But after that, the crowd was very overwhelming, just like being there in the moment. And then now we're gonna touch on it. The exhibit hall. Walking in there on the first day effed me up. It did. I should not have walked in the exhibit hall on the first day of the convention. But just like seeing everything that they had, like I bought posters, shirts, Funko Pops. I had to get me some Dreamcon merch. Like the things that what I really liked about the exhibit hall is just seeing the different ways that people express their interests and how they were expressing it. I think one of the off the wall thing, because we're used to like people making posters and making t-shirts, but Ralph had found a booth where they had anime themed fragrances, and I was like, okay, this is a different way to express your love of anime by making fragrances. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're so used to people making t-shirts and bandanas and robes and bonnets and like apparel, to put it in short, that something like making a fragrance, anime themed fragrances, is like, okay, this is out the box.
Yeah. Or like in that one stand in the very beginning, it was like see-through Pokeball statuettes and like different sizes, and they had like the Pokemon like an ecosystem in them.
Yeah.
I wanted one of those until I saw the price. I saw the price.
Those jumps were expensive.
I didn't care about the price.
Look, I had to make sure my stuff got back on the plane. I had to make sure my bag stayed under 50 pounds, because when I tell you I was stuffing stuff in my book bag, because I was like, I know if I put this in my suitcase, it's going to be over 50. I think, really, honestly, truly, I feel like I should just drive to Dreamcon next year. Because, I mean, like, or just plan better, like with my bags and stuff, maybe just bring me a little default dummy bag. Because it's like, it was so much stuff that I wanted, but I was like, I know if I go like overboard with buying stuff, it's not going to fit back in my suitcase.
No.
It was some stuff I just knew would get damaged. Like those pieces of art that was there, I saw some really dope posters.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's been a while since I've bought actual posters, and it took a lot out of me to not get them.
Yeah.
And I was also like, if I put these in a suitcase, and the second something comes up bent, I'm gonna be angry.
What me and Galvin did with our
this bit right here,
I made him pack some clothes first, put the posters down, and then put some more clothes on top of it.
This bit right here,
that joint is cold. I got a Sailor Moon one.
The only thing is I have to get a custom frame.
Yeah, because I think the size.
You know where to get those at?
I can. You can go to Michael's and actually order you a custom frame for it. But
there we
this bit right here went hard. I had to get it.
Yeah, it was some posters I saw, and I was like, I was like, I saw some posters, and I was like, I gotta have them. I got to. But other than it being hot and like being just like fully overwhelmed the first day, I don't think there's really too much I dislike about Dreamcon. I think something that took it over the top that was extremely helpful was them making the app and you being able to see like all of the events and they did like a 15-minute reminder for the events that you chose to, which I thought was like extremely helpful. And it had the map in there. It had the list of everybody who was selling in the exhibit hall. And yeah, I'm excited for next year. I think I'm looking forward to next year. I feel like I might cosplay, and I
Yeah.
definitely want to be more involved in the convention. Because I guess I went into the mindset of Dreamcon, like, to host a panel or to do this or do that. You had to be like, have like a high standing in like social media. But like, looking at the panels and the people who are on there, they just signed up to do a panel because they wanted to do a panel. And I was like, okay, bet. Let's go.
And and a lot of them actually had big audiences, and those audiences weren't even just people who already followed the folks.
Yeah.
They just saw the title, like that Avatar. A lot of those folks, they ain't know who the panelists were,
Exactly.
but they saw Avatar and they came. Now those panelists probably got like 20, 30 new followers, across their platforms.
Yeah. So I'm excited to being more involved in the convention next year. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Now, I would say for those that haven't been to Dreamcon, definitely go. Definitely.
Yeah.
And get your tickets early.
Yeah.
The second they drop, get them early. Buy extras, okay, just for your homeboys who ain't gonna have them, and sell them later. Do something.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a really good. I think it's a really good experience.
I wouldn't even critique anything about it myself either. The only thing I'll say, I can't wait to see it get bigger.
Yeah.
Because, like, just looking at how huge San Diego Comic-Con is, like, I want DreamCon to get that big. I want it to get huge because after I was exploring LA before I moved out, and I told Foop about it, I found a store that reminded me of DreamCon's exhibit hall, and it was basically just 3 times bigger. Same thing, like DreamCon, they got all the concepts. I just can't wait to see it get bigger, and hopefully it's in Texas again.
Yeah, and I think it will get bigger. The fact that they've been doing it since 2018, but I didn't fully become aware that it was a thing until last year. I definitely think it's going to get bigger.
Yeah, and I think they're also going to continue to have it in Texas.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep the Texas location. Now, if
that was a good area.
Now, if they just get too big where none of their stuff can fit there, then I can see them moving to another location. But I think they're going to keep that Texas location.
It was fun, though. We actually met a few folks. I like the fact that we was able to network with other content creators, like actually get to know them on a personal level. We were put on game. It was nice. It was just
hot. It was just hot for me.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was.
Lord.
Like it.
It was one day of the convention. It was like 106 degrees, and I was like, "You have to be kidding me right now."
No, it was one day where it was 115. Yeah. It was 115 outside.
That's crazy. I remember we went out that night, and I walked outside, and I was like, "Why is it still this hot?" Like, it was still like 90-some degrees outside at 10 o'clock at night, and I was like,
at sundown.
I was like, I don't like this. This is.
I will say a warning though to anybody who's watching this and wants to go: don't expect to see your favorite celebrities in person or favorite content creators, the real big ones, because they were busy.
Yeah.
They were busy.
I think you have to get like the VIP status and stuff like that to really like to meet them. I would say don't expect to like, and you might, but I wouldn't say don't go in thinking you're gonna have a one-on-one conversation. You might see them in passing. Like, we got lucky with King Vader. Because he was going to the bathroom, so we was like, "Hey, what's up?" And we chopped it up. And then we got lucky with Jordan. We got lucky with Jordan from Hypeland because we were waiting in line to tie-dye shirts. So he was helping out with the tie-dye situation. So it was like, yeah, come over, take some pictures, chop it up. So. And
I only saw RDC World because they happened to ride the same plane as me. I got on, I was like, oh, there go Marcus. What's up? I was like, I enjoy DreamCon.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay.
But I would definitely.
You was about to say something, Ralph?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like the first day we was there, me, Ryan, and one of our friends actually, we didn't realize we walked past King Vader until I took a moment because I'm just trying to get in line.
Oh yeah,
You
through the
know,
parking lot.
yeah, we in the parking lot just walking from the car, trying to get in line because that line already long as hell. So he said, "What's up?" I said, "What's up?" And I was like, "I like your cosplay." And then it took me a minute to register in my head who that was.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because you guys told us that after we pulled up. But I want to.
Because it's like it's interesting because you see him on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram so much. Then you see him in person, it's like, oh, you're tall in person.
Yeah.
You're this guy.
Yeah. But I want to move on to the rest of our topics for today because we're touching the 40-minute mark. But speaking of conventions, San Diego Comic-Con happened basically the week after we got back from Dreamcon, and you guys know what that means. A lot of Marvel information. But I want to say the highlight, at least for me, and I think I'm just going to call this the basis highlight. They dropped the trailer for Wakanda Forever. So if you have been listening to us in the past episodes, we have had our hesitancies surrounding Wakanda Forever. We talked about Angela Bassett's statement about this was going to be better than Black Panther 1. And for me, I said this multiple times that I was going to have to see the trailer. And now I've seen the trailer, and I think we're going to be proved wrong. I think Angela Bassett might be right. I watched the trailer. I'm not really sure. I have my theories of what might go on. But I didn't get like a full understanding of what the plot might be. But the way that the trailer went, I think she might be right. I think they're going to honor Chadwick very well in this movie, just because of how it started. And the song is Tim's "Woman, No Cry," and they mixed it with Kendrick Lamar's "All Right." And
that was kind of a nice mix. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good mix.
We get reveals of Riri Williams as Ironheart. Well, Riri Williams is the character. She is Ironheart. So we get to see her for the first time. We get our first look at Namor, Atlantis, as well as what the Atlanteans are going to look like in the Marvel universe. I think we're going to be very satisfied with this movie just based off the trailer. It looks like they took their time with it.
I would agree.
I'm still looking forward to seeing it, but I like that they paid homage to Chadwick. Like I like that at least from the trailer, it seems like they gonna acknowledge that we lost this dude, and they're gonna tie it into the story. I'm interested in seeing how the story is. I would like to know after seeing it, like what was the story before Chadwick's passing. But it looked like it might be fire.
I would hope. My counter to that is I would hope that the movie performs so well that it doesn't matter.
Forget about that.
That it doesn't matter what the story was before it hit the screen.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope it's not like a Multiverse of Madness thing where we watched it and then we like, okay, what happened in the other hour, something in this movie, because I want to see it. I hope that with this one, it's just, it doesn't matter how the story changed, that you guys executed this new story very well.
Now,
right.
Now, technically,
and it's
does
like,
this start
it kind of sucks because...
No, this is going to end Phase 4.
Okay.
This is the last movie of Phase 4.
Okay.
The only thing that sucks is that this looks so good, but I still don't know what's going on in Phase 4.
So let's talk about that. So we talked about the announcement that came after the Wakanda Forever trailer drop is that Kevin Feige announced that Wakanda Forever would end Phase 4. So before we get back into our pet peeve of that we don't know what the fuck is going on with Phase 4, let's just talk about the movies that have dropped in this phase, and I'm going to include some Disney Plus shows too.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Black Widow, Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Shang-Chi, The Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Miss Marvel, Thor Love and Thunder, and now we're about to get Wakanda Forever. We also got Hawkeye this phase as well. And I don't know what's going on, but I want to state some highlights. Moon Knight. Forgot about that one. So I still don't know what's going on in phase 4, but I do want to address some highlights that maybe it's leading that phase 4 is setting the stage for phase 5 and phase 6. We're going to get to that in a minute. But some of the highlights that I pulled out is that we got a lot of new characters out of this phase. Yelena Belova, Kate Bishop, Shang-Chi, Miss America or America Chavez, Miss Marvel. We're about to get She-Hulk in a couple weeks with her Disney Plus show. We got Daredevil back. We're about to get Patriot. We got Sam as Captain America. We're getting a new Captain America. U.S. Agent, Monica Rambeau as Photon, Wiccan and Speed, Lady Loki, Kane the Conqueror, The Eternals. We got some hints to Blade with the Black Knight. Moon Knight. So we got introduced to a lot of characters in this phase, even though the storyline isn't really making, like, the direction that this phase is going is not really making sense. Other highlights we got out of this phase is that we got introduced to the multiverse. We got a new element added to the MCU, and with Wakanda Forever coming out with the introduction of Namor and Atlantis, we're about to get Atlantis added to the MCU as well, the existence of that. And we got an introduction to the Celestials as well through the Eternals. Mm-hmm. So, though the movies as they went along, none of this stuff has been making sense to me. I will say that we are getting some new stuff out of it. Right. Did you guys see Thor Love and Thunder?
Yes. That was my next question was with the, I feel like it's been enough time now to mention this, but with the end credit cutscene of Hercules getting introduced, do you think they're gonna try to throw him in?
I have no idea what they're planning on doing with that. Like, the movies that are coming up, and I guess we can go ahead and jump into phase 5 and 6, is that I don't see where Thor or Hercules is going to fit in. I honestly wish that they would be done with Thor. Thor Love and Thunder did not impress me at all. I would not recommend paying to see this. I would wait for this to drop on Disney Plus. Because I don't know how it's going to fit in the future, my current opinion is that you can skip this one. Honestly. Out of the whole phase 4, you could skip this one.
But what's funny is I felt that about the majority of Thor movies except for Ragnarok, and Ragnarok just happened to be pretty funny and good.
Well, you couldn't skip, though the Dark World got pretty bad reviews. You technically can't skip it because it introduces you into one of the Infinity Stones. So
I feel like
you
they
can't
fell short with the Thor character,
and you
though.
Can't,
like,
I think the first two movies. I think the first two movies, they tried to make him a bit like Shakespearean, and then they found out that wasn't working. Like, we let them slide with Thor 1 because this is an introduction movie. Thor the Dark World didn't do so well, so they had to do something, and I think Ragnarok was a great rebranding for Thor. But then we get to Thor Love and Thunder, and I just feel like they have no idea what they want to do with him now.
Yeah.
Right.
Did I haven't seen this Thor movie, but that's because I was not interested at all.
I have no idea what they're planning to do with Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I feel like they should have let him be after Endgame. I have listed so many new characters coming out of Phase 4 that I honestly don't know what they're going to do with Thor. Like, all of these new characters, the side characters like Doctor Strange, Wanda, are about to become main characters in the forefront. And with Thor being a member of the previous lineup, I just don't see where he's going to fit in with all of this new stuff that is coming forward. And Thor Love and Thunder did not give me anything towards that.
I would say the only place.
So do you feel like it's an actor issue, or is it how they just?
Okay, I hear two questions right now. So what's your question, Ron?
I was gonna say, do y'all feel like it's an actor issue, or is it just how the directors are treating the Thor character? Like, who do you feel like
it's the director. I honestly think it's the director, because the same director that did Thor Love and Thunder is the same guy who did Ragnarok. And I think he did a really good job with Ragnarok with balancing the seriousness as well as the jokes and the character development. And the way that he developed Thor fit very well with the events of Infinity War and Endgame, which he wasn't a part of, the director wasn't a part of in these movies, but everything fit. So we get this full character development of Thor in these 3 movies, and I feel like he threw it all away in Thor Love and Thunder, because they tried to take the vibe and the jokes and the silliness of Ragnarok and basically tried to put it on steroids. And they sacrificed the plot. To me, they sacrificed the plot of the movie, the seriousness of it, for jokes. They tried to make a whole movie a laugh fest instead of acknowledging the growth that Thor has went through in Phase 3. So I really think it's the director. I think they tried to take Ragnarok and put it on steroids, and it did not. To me, it did not perform well.
Now, to say that
there go y'all mob review.
There go the mob review. But let's go back to Phase 5 and Phase 6. So even though Phase 4 isn't making sense to us, I have a really good feeling about Phase 5 and Phase 6. I think that Phase 4 was setting the groundwork for a lot of stuff that is going to make sense once we get into Phase 5. My only question is how are they going to fit the stuff that we've seen in Phase 4 into Phase 5? But I have a really good feeling about it. Standout movies for me: Ant-Man 3, the Disney Plus show Secret Invasion, The Marvels, Loki Season 2, Blade, Ironheart, Thunderbolts, and if you want to talk Phase 6, all of Phase 6. I'm excited for all of Phase 6. Fantastic Four, Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, so we're about to get Kang the Conqueror big time, and then Secret Wars, which is what this multiverse stuff is eventually supposed to lead to. So I'm definitely excited for Phase 6.
See, out of Phase 5, definitely Blade. Echo, is that referring to that Eternal?
No.
I'm excited for that.
Echo refers to, if you've seen Hawkeye, Echo is Kingpin's niece.
In that one episode where you wanted a character where you mentioned you wanted a character emphasized from the Hawkeye series?
I think so. That's her.
Okay. Okay, that'll be interesting. And who's Ironheart? You know, I'm not in the comics like I need to be.
Ironheart, to give a brief description, is a black girl named Riri Williams, who is basically like Iron Man's prodigy, and she builds her own Iron Man suit and goes and, does her thing, fights crime. So she's being introduced. Your first time seeing her is going to be in Wakanda forever.
So do y'all think? So in the comics, she's Iron Man's prodigy. Like, she actually worked with him in the comic books.
So I'm not too big on like Marvel comics. I'm not
Right.
sure if she worked with him or not. From what I remember, I think she just like really looked up to him.
Right.
And she's
Okay.
she's very smart too, like prodigy as in she's extremely smart to like up to his level to create this kind of stuff.
As an Iron Man fan, I'm looking forward to Ironheart the most out of
So-
Phase 5 now.
I am curious of how they're going to integrate Tony Stark into her story with Tony Stark now being dead in the MCU.
Yeah.
I think putting her and starting her in Wakanda forever, I feel like is a good starting point for her. Now, how they move forward with like her series, and her series may be an origin series. Like we may go backwards in time. Like
I feel like
there's
it will be an
a
origin series.
Easter egg. There's an Easter egg in the Wakanda Forever series where she makes the heart, the Iron Heart, for her suit. That's in the trailer. I was like, okay, that's dope. So either she's going to bust out with the suit in Wakanda Forever, or they're just going to allude to the fact that these events that's happening in this movie led you to becoming Ironheart. And the series could be what her journey after Wakanda Forever, or it could be a little bit before Wakanda Forever than what she does after that.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. But I think the MCU, despite our complaints about Phase 4, I think for Phase 5 and Phase 6, I think they got it in the bag. Because Secret Invasion, just to put this example out there, and Ant-Man, Quantumanium, I think are supposed to join in a lot of the characters that we've been seeing throughout Phase 4 and actually now bringing them together and intertwining everybody. So I think that is when all of these different elements that we've been seeing in these different movies is actually going to start making sense in Phase 5.
In other words,
and then Phase 6.
And
I wouldn't say pay attention to it the most. That's just the one that I heard is going to include multiple characters from different series that we've seen.
But where the X-Men at?
We might have to wait a minute for the X-Men.
Well,
So this is what they did. And this kind of pissed me off a little bit. At the end of Miss Marvel, they alluded that she might be a mutant. And they played the little X-Men 97, the little da-na-na-na-na in the background. And while that's cool, Miss Marvel's origin is not X-Men. She's an Inhuman. So they basically rewrote a character's origin to allude to X-Men while erasing the Inhumans out of the MCU. So I don't know if they're going to push forward with that, or if they're going to make it to, oh, we made a mistake. That this is not a mutation as X-Men mutation. You're an Inhuman. Because we've also met Black Bolt already.
Yeah.
Who's the leader of the Inhumans. So they tried to do a cute little thing in Miss Marvel, but I didn't fully appreciate them changing her origin like that. Just to introduce or to allude to the X-Men. Now, in Wakanda Forever, it is rumored that a mutant is going to show up in Wakanda Forever. Now, with it being Wakanda, Black Panther, your first assumption is probably going to be Storm, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
There.
Check us out in November. We are definitely doing a mob review of Black Panther in November. So be on the lookout for that.
Put it on your calendars.
But
Hope Storm walk in there, be like, my boyfriend gone.
Girl.
What we gonna do now? What we gonna do now?
Not with Lupita still being in the movie. She rolled up talking about my boyfriend.
My boyfriend gone.
But other things that got announced at San Diego Comic-Con, we finally got us some more Avatar The Last Airbender news. So the first thing that I saw is that they are releasing an Azula graphic novel trilogy in 2023. The title of it is Azula and the Spirit Temple. I'm just excited that we are getting solo Azula content. Like, I'm extremely excited. The previous Avatar comics that did have Azula in it, she wasn't the main focus. The fact that this is a solo Azula graphic novel trilogy, I'm excited. I'm hoping that this trilogy gives us more insight into what Azula's been up to after Avatar The Last Airbender, and maybe allude or hint to some events that excluded her from Legend of Korra. Like, why is there no mention or even anything alluding to Azula in Legend of Korra? And this comic book,
Didn't they mention her once in Legend of Korra, like one time?
I maybe Zuko
I don't
mentioning
recall.
his sister and something.
Yeah,
But I don't
thought it was once.
I don't remember them having a heavy conversation about Azula. It may have just been a
Right.
one-off statement with Zuko talking about his sister, which we all know is Azula, but I don't remember there being heavy conversation
Right.
about what happened to Azula in Legend of Korra. So I'm not saying
Ooh,
that
I
we're
can't
going
wait.
I'm not saying that we're going to get this out of this graphic novel, but maybe they might allude, whatever her journey is in this trilogy, might allude to why we don't get much mention of Azula in Legend of Korra. The other thing is that they mentioned that they're putting out another Korra trilogy as well. She already has 2. So what I'm expecting out of this new one, I hope they age her up. Like, she's older, like maybe in her late 20s, early 30s. And what does that mean to be in the Avatar in that time? Like, you know, with Republic City already being in that industrial age type area, how has technology advanced since we've seen Korra as 21? Because she was 21 when the season ended. When her whole run ended, she was 21. So I think it would be cool to see her older. And then that ties into how is she preparing for the next Avatar? Because you're not going to live forever. I mean, you could be on some Kyoshi stuff and live forever for like 200 years or so. But she's not going to live forever. So how is she handling the fact that she has to prepare to pass off the mantle? What is she going to leave for the next Avatar? How has the Avatar cycle changed? What new things have they learned about the Avatar cycle? Because now she's the starting point of it. That's some things that I would like to see out of this new trilogy. You know, some years, I want, like, fast forward to let some years go by, and how has she been adapting as the Avatar with everything continuously changing around her. So they didn't give the name of her trilogy or drop a visual of what it's going to look like. They only did that for the Azula one. But those 2 are dropping 2023, so I'm excited to grab those. And along with graphic novel announcements, they also talked about the movies. So the first mention of the movies, it was going to be 3. It was going to be a Kyoshi movie, a Zuko movie, and a Korra movie. Well, they've scrapped the Kyoshi movie, and they're replacing it with an Aang movie, but they're going to be aged up. So this is going to be an older Avatar gang that they're following. So the first hot take that I want to talk about is, how do we feel about them scrapping a Kyoshi movie and replacing it with Aang?
I personally, don't get mad at me about this. I would have loved to see Kyoshi. I would have rather they scrapped a Korra movie and did adult Aang The only reason I would have loved to see adult Aang is because seeing Republic City develop
Mm-hmm.
and like that whole post-child skip, him and Zuko as friends, they might seeing probably what's going on with Azula if they touch on her a little bit after that fight. I would love to see that post-time skip because that's what I wanted when Legend of Korra first dropped and I was watching it episodically after being an Avatar fan as a kid. I always wanted to see that, so that's my dream.
And
I hate.
I was gonna say your opinion is my opinion. That I'm not mad at an Aang movie. I think them scrapping the Kyoshi movie is missing our opportunity to expand the Avatar universe, to see the Avatar universe from a earth-bending Avatar. Because we've seen air through Aang, we've seen water through Korra. We even got a couple episodes dedicated to Roku as a firebending Avatar because it tied into Zuko's story. But the only thing that we haven't gotten is the world through an earth-bending Avatar. And the Kyoshi movie was going to give us that.
Right.
But the reason I'm not mad at an Aang movie is the same reason you said, Ron, is that with them being older, we get to see the birth of Republic City. And we get to see the challenges that they had to tackle to get Republic City the way that we see it in Legend of Korra. We get
the Fire Nation paying reparations.
Right.
Toph creating the Metal Bender police force. All of that is going to be fire.
Right. And I get it. Like we've seen Aang animated. We saw them grow up through the series. If you read the comic books, you get to see them grow up more through the comic books. So it's like, sure, give us some Aang content, but it's like it's so many more characters in the Avatar universe that we could have got a dedicated movie on. You know?
I would have loved to see Kyoshi. I wouldn't even be mad at a Roku movie. Don't sacrifice Kyoshi for Roku. But they didn't have to get rid of the Kyoshi movie. They could have got rid of Korra. No offense to Korra. No offense to her.
I think a Korra movie would be cool. You said what, Ralph?
They need Korra. They need a Korra movie because we need to know how things are gonna go forward. Like, how are things developing leading up to the, maybe if they do a next Avatar, how are they gonna do it?
So that's my thing. I think, and this even goes for the Zuko movie. Like, Zuko and Korra are established characters. So the story they need to tell needs to be told with intention. Like, what is new about Zuko that we have to give him a whole movie? And what is new with Korra that we have to give her a whole movie? I love Korra. Right. I love her to death. But I'm a big story person too. Like, what story are you going to tell? And I think a Kyoshi movie would have been a really good story to tell because it's something that we haven't seen before. Like, there's so many opportunities that could have been brought out of a Kyoshi movie. So
exactly. And Kyoshi was raw.
Yeah.
The way they talk about Kyoshi, she was raw. I wanna see a Azula-esque Avatar. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who's a little edgy. You know what I'm saying? So I would have loved to see that Kyoshi movie.
I think another missed opportunity that, because we're not getting the movie, now I have to go backwards. I wish they would have done some Korra Kyoshi interactions before, like, the whole Avatar thing went down.
Yeah.
Like, they had Korra talking to Aang, which makes sense because he's the previous Avatar before you. You know, you're surrounded by so many of his friends, his children, etc. But it would have been really nice to see Korra talk to some other avatars other than Aang. I think it really would have been nice for her to talk to Kyoshi because, one, both of you guys are female avatars and your approach to problems are essentially the same. And I think she could have learned a lot from Kyoshi throughout her journey.
And the thing about a Zuko movie, is it going to take place before the adult Avatar movie or after?
I don't know.
There's no
I don't know. So that's why I'm going back to the story. Because what story about Zuko are you guys going to tell that gave the green light that to give him a solo movie.
Right, and that's where it's like, are they going to include a lot of Azula? Is it him basically changing the theme and the tempo of the Fire Nation and making them love people and be nice to each other? Is it before Adult Gang Avatar? Like, is it before the Adult Avatar Gang movie? Is it post? Is it them going into the Republic City age?
I
Like,
don't know.
it's a little confusing that it seems like they could basically be the same time frame and they're back to back. Because what I don't want to see childhood Zuko. Nobody cares about that.
Mhm.
We know his story. Don't nobody want to see that. I hope that's not where they're going with it.
Maybe.
Or is it going to be a lot of Azula influence? Like it's interesting that we're getting both of those now.
It could be. I think we just have to wait for them to put out a bit more information. And it could turn around just like how they scrapped the Kyoshi movie and replaced it with something else. They may change their mind and decide not to do a Zuko movie either.
Right.
So I think we just for that. What's up, Ralph?
Oh, I would say if anything, the one thing that I want to know, who the hell is Toss baby daddy?
It gotta be Sokka.
Gotta be somebody. We need to know this info. We need to know.
It gotta be Sokka.
I don't feel like they're gonna put that in the movie. I think we're just gonna have to imagine.
I mess around and it be Aang. Him and Katara had a little rough patch.
Not for them, baby. Not for that baby to come out brown skin, because Lin's dad, Toph said who Lin's dad was. We don't know who the younger sister dad is, and that baby brown, so that can't be Aang baby.
It gotta.
That baby.
If it ain't Sokka,
that baby might be a Water Tribe baby. But I don't know. I highly doubt we would get answers to that in a movie because it's still animated. We don't know the audience that they're gearing this movie towards to, but I can only assume that they want to gear this to younger children, as well as, bring in the old Avatar: The Last Airbender fans. But I see it as the same way J.K. Rowling did Harry Potter. The reason that J.K. Rowling did the time skip at the end of Deathly Hallows is because because even though everybody was already paired up and the relationships were established, she didn't want to give way to like teen pregnancy and stuff like that. So them aging up the Avatar characters and it already being established that Aang and Katara are a couple, and Toph may not have no kids. That might not even be a thought in her head for her being a mother, just to avoid things like that. So I don't see them doing that.
Interesting.
I just want to bring it up.
It's Sokka though. It gotta be my boy Sokka though.
So let's move away from the entertainment industry and let's jump into some video games. So the big news that dropped, we got more info on GTA 6. We got a couple announcements surrounding that. One, they're putting GTA 6 back in Vice City, and the real life equivalent of Vice City is Miami. So we're going to be back in Miami. This protagonist is going to be a female protagonist instead of male, which is completely new. This is all the way new for Grand Theft Auto. This is
going to be interesting.
This is all the way new. And they mentioned that the game is going to get continuous updates that's going to include new missions as well as new cities and areas on the map. So let's talk about the location, because that was a conversation that we had a while back. How do we feel about them reusing a location?
Here's the thing. It's not that I hate it, but I am not happy that they didn't try something new and explorative. I would have loved the ideas that we came up any one of those cities. The people who were in the comments on Instagram saying Atlanta, I would have loved somewhere new. We've seen Vice City, I think more than once, right, Ralph? We've seen Vice City. Unless when they say we're adding new cities, they finna go up north and add Atlanta, or they finna go northwest and add New Orleans. I don't want to go back to Miami unless they finna go into the Caribbean and we finna get on the boats and go to the islands. I feel like they should have been more explorative.
Okay.
I don't know
believe
what
this
made
is
them
the second
pick
time
that,
we've
but I
been
would
to
have
Vice
loved a new
City.
city.
This is the second time.
Okay. Second time?
Yeah.
I don't want to see it again. I'm sorry.
I feel you. I'm not mad that we're going back to Vice City, but I definitely agree with Ryan that with the high anticipation surrounding GTA 6, this could have been the opportunity for them to pick a new location and to tell a different story, especially with them introducing a female protagonist. Like, new on top of new would be highly appealing for Grand Theft Auto players. So I'm not mad. I think it's just a missed opportunity. So let's get into the female protagonist. What's up, Ralph?
I would say.
What you about to say?
I was
answer the
expecting.
question.
No, I did not get a chance to answer the question.
Ah!
Dang.
Respect your co-host.
Right.
My bad.
But I would definitely say, based on the cities, I would have loved to see somewhere different. Like, you could have literally picked New York. That's a big city that we haven't explored. You could have picked Atlanta, like we've said. That's a big city we've explored. You could have picked Chicago. Chicago has so much expansive stuff that you could have done it around. It's fucking insane.
I said Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, you could have done so much around that.
I think the second...
They could have done another country for all I care. They could have done Mexico or somewhere.
I think the reason why I'm not too mad that they are reusing Vice City is the fact that the updates are supposed to open new areas and new missions. So it could be possible that these locations that we wish would have been the main location, I feel like there's still hope that we would get a completely new area. That an update comes and we go to this completely new, different city. Like, the basis is Vice City, but once you complete whatever you got to do in Vice City, then the rest of the game is in these new areas that we've never been to before. And that's where the meat of the story and the meat of the game comes from. That's being optimistic, that's being hopeful, but I'm hoping that may have been the reason why they decided to reuse an old location. It's because we're not going to stay there too much.
I feel you, but
I understand
the but is
the reason
we're going to stay in Florida. We're going to stay in quote unquote Florida. They're just going to take the major cities from Florida and add them on.
Right, because I doubt, I would love for them to, but I highly doubt they finna let us drive and fly up north and add ATL and all that other stuff and drive across the southern region.
Sure, it may seem like a pipe dream, but I don't think it's too far off. Like, what was that GTA 5 where you could go to the airport and you just fly to a different location? Like, I don't think it would be too far off to... No, you don't have the feature where you can drive all the way up north, but if you go to the airport, you can fly to this new location. I don't think that's too far off.
Nah.
But my whole thing is like what you said, new on top of new. Like, let's really be creative here. You already got a female protagonist. We don't know what route they're going for, like strong, independent boss chick. We don't know if they're going to do like Trevor, where it's like a hillbilly. Or I don't even know if they said race. It would be dope if it was a black woman. It would be very unique if it was like any other race of woman that isn't a white woman. But like, imagine if they put that in Atlanta, where the strong black culture is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imagine if they put that in Chicago, where we stereotype the violence and everything with all the gangs and stuff out there. Imagine if they did that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, that would have just been so much opportunity. If they did DC with all the government agencies and everything, say if they went the boss lady route, like, there was so many ways they could have intertwined a new female protagonist with the theme of these new areas and really tied that together to make something beautiful.
I think
because we already know they're gonna focus on the online mode anyway afterwards.
I think it just goes down into what story they're trying to tell. The current information surrounding the story is that it's supposed to be a Bonnie and Clyde type situation. And because they said it's supposed to be a Bonnie and Clyde situation, that's why I can see Vice City being a Bonnie and Clyde situation. Like a Hollywood Bonnie and Clyde situation. I see Vice City fitting that. If that's true. But I want to spin the block on the female protagonist. I really hope that they take this character seriously.
Yeah.
And I hope that they don't pervert her throughout the story and the choices that she has to make. And I hope they don't try to make her a stereotype. Ryan touched on the fact that it would be really dope if this female protagonist is a black woman. And we all know the stereotypes surrounding black women and how they can be portrayed in media.
Right.
And we all know the nature of Grand Theft Auto. So I really hope that they are very intentional with this character and they take her seriously. I'm hoping for a strong female lead, like Ron was saying, like a boss lady. But with that, I also hope that it still feels like a Grand Theft Auto main character. That she fits, that this is a nicely well done, designed, thought out character, and it still gives you those GTA vibes.
Right. And it's like, because we've seen him do it. Like with GTA 5, Franklin, obviously it touched on like some stereotypes, but Franklin was a well-developed character as a black male character that we could all relate to. You had the Trevor, you had the Michael, the boss white guy, professional with the hillbilly, backwoods, like other white guy. Like we got the stereotypes touched, but the stories were still expanded upon. Now, when they integrate a woman, I want them to really, really show us another side. I want them to really expand on her story. I want y'all, if y'all pick a stereotype, obviously if you are going to be in there, don't make that the main focus the same way y'all treated the other male leads.
Exactly.
I want this character to be fun. I want them to be great, either make me love her or make me hate her. And if y'all can make me feel one of those two things, y'all did a great job.
Right.
I want to either really love this character or really hate this character. Not because they were bad written, but because they were so well written. I would love to see that.
Or I hope that they, at the end of the day, make her enjoyable to play as. This is not like, if you guys ever played Spider-Man, where you had the Mary Jane side missions and you just Mary Jane just for this side mission. No, this is a main character. You're going to be her majority of the time. So make the character enjoyable to be played as, And I feel like we should love playing as this character. I don't think we should hate. Because if you're going to be the protagonist, and the way they're hinting at it's not going to be like GTA 5 where you could alternate between Franklin, Mike, and Trevor. So it's not like, let me get this Trevor mission out the way so I can go back playing as Franklin. No, you're going to be this lady the whole time. So to me, I need to enjoy this character.
Right.
I would have loved the GTA 5 character wheel, 3 people. But imagine it, I know this is, since they already announced what they're doing, I would have loved to see like a whole like set of 3 women.
So
with like their individual stories.
I think it would have been cold. I think it would have been taking it too fast. Because they're already stepping outside of the GTA formula by making a female protagonist. So let's play it safe and keep it that one female. Now, if they execute that really well, then let's add the multi-protagonists to the mix and have their stories intertwined. Because they didn't do that with the male characters at first. Every GTA was a solo male protagonist, and then they flipped the script. They upped the formula with GTA 5 by adding in 3 male protagonists, and They executed that very well with how their stories aligned and how their individual stories went. This is completely new. So now that it's basically them starting over with a new GTA game with a female protagonist. Let's see how this goes first with one. How well can they develop a story and develop a game with a female protagonist? Oh, that did well. That did great. Okay, let's kick it up a notch. And GTA 7
Okay.
is us getting a mix, maybe even a mix. 2 female protagonists and a male protagonist. Or 2 male protagonists and they stick in the female because we know that them sticking in a female protagonist in the game is going to be executed well because they've done it before. I think
Right.
them coming in the GTA 6 and saying we're about to put 3 female protagonists in the game, let's slow down.
Yeah,
let's slow down because
step.
let's take a Michael Jackson moonwalk step backwards and let's start with 1 because you guys have never done this before and you want to do 3.
I feel that.
So I get it that GTA 5 felt so new because we were able to alternate between 3 characters. But the fact that this is a female protagonist, something that they've never done before, let's see how they execute on that before we try to up the formula even more.
Right.
Okay. Now let's also be real. They're going to focus on that online mode the most. Now,
yeah.
How much did y'all play online, Ralph? I know you played a good amount of online.
I didn't play
this.
online.
This is my.
You did it?
This is my GTA 5 online experience. I showed up. I made my guy. The first thing that happens, I'm getting chased by this dude who is trying to kill me. So then I'm running for my life. I got this gun. The gun ran out of bullets. I can't go to the ammunition because I'm not at the right level to go buy more guns. So I'm basically just running from this dude the whole time. It wasn't, maybe if I hop back in it now, maybe I have a better experience, but that just ruined the whole thing for that took a span of 5 minutes for me to say I am not going to enjoy this and I have not been back.
So here's the thing. GTA Online was really fun. My experience, I played hours, probably like 150 plus. And here's the thing. It was really good. You didn't level up. You should have did some missions. You should have had you a little squad of folks to help you out. But you live and you learn.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they're definitely going to do that. GTA Online made them so much money. It is Rockstar's biggest source of income still, and has been for years. So what I am excited to see, and I hope y'all jump in early because the hackers are going to give y'all free money like they did in GTA 5. I hope that they have an organized theme for GTA Online, because with GTA 5 it was like freeform, like how you said you jumped in and you were just getting shot at. That was all of GTA 5 for like the first year. It wasn't until years later they had it to where you could like control like these little, I don't know what words we can't use, like the little drug cartels. Like you play a cartel person, you could do the little spy missions for the government and all this other stuff, stack up different types of bases, integrating all of this. Mm-hmm. That came years later. I hope with this new GTA 6 Online, they have an organized thing. Like, let me know what I can do from the jump. I know y'all going to expand, but don't let it be as freeform like they did with GTA 5. Give me some type of something to grab onto. You know what I'm saying?
I'll think about it. I'll think about playing GTA 6 Online. I'll think about it.
I would say from my point of view, GTA 5 Online didn't look too fun for me, but like as I began watching other streamers do GTA 5 like RP, that looks very more like interesting, because then now you're pretty much playing a certain quote unquote character that you want to create in this world, and you're pretty much doing it with other people that are also RPing as well. So that makes it that adds a layer of like storytelling that you can create on your own at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how
Okay.
the people that RP go into GTA 6 when the people that are over those kind of servers actually get the map and make it how they want to make it, and I'm waiting to see how they all integrate to that.
Yeah, I'm excited for the game. Period. Like we had talked about this before. We've been playing GTA 5 since 2013.
Yeah.
So
It's
I'm
been almost a
excited.
decade.
I'm excited for GTA 6 because it's Grand Theft Auto.
It's going to be over a decade when GTA 6 drop, Ralph. That's the
Yeah.
funny part.
It-
They
It's
said
going to be over a
Dang.
decade.
the rumored release date for GTA 6 is between April 2023 and March 2024. So
I feel like it's gonna
it's
fall
somewhere.
on October of April.
I can see it being a fall. I can see
2023.
I can see GTA 6 being a holiday release, if not fall.
Yeah.
I feel bad for every other game that try to drop at the same time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I see that being a
Ooh.
holiday. I see that being a holiday release, if not a fall release.
Yeah.
So
If anything, it might be also a December, like Christmas Eve kind of release.
that's what I said. Holiday.
But
When I guess I'm so used
Like-
when I see holiday season, that means Thanksgiving, Christmas time. When I usually see holiday, when they put something out and it says it's coming out holiday 2022, that's after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas area. So I could see it being somewhere up in there. And when I say fall, I'm thinking like October release before Thanksgiving. So
got it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. The thing is, 2023 though, because they announced it, they said they working on it. How many years of development have they announced? How many years of work they already put into it? I know they said like half the teams is.
now they announced in January that they had been working on it. That they were developing. Yeah.
So here's the thing. If it is really 2023 and I ain't heard nothing about this game has been in 4+ years of development, I'ma fear the usual. The game was rushed, bugged, day one patch of 50 gigabytes.
So they said, so I read an article that they are doing the updates just so they won't feel the crunch time when it's time to release. So whatever they're developing right now is just that base. And then when they come out with updates, that's going to be everything else. So I feel you that it may seem like they're rushing it, but because of the fact that they're doing the updates with the new missions and areas, I feel like maybe they're trying to come up with a counter plan so the game won't feel rushed on launch.
My whole thing is what I hope they do. I hope they do it like GTA 5 where the online came a few months after.
Yeah.
I can't remember how long it took. I know people were mad at first, but it did two things. It allowed us to enjoy the story mode because a lot of people do just jump straight into GTA Online. And two, it gave them a little bit of time to fix everything and prep their servers and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they redo that same process that worked for them the first time.
So I feel like where Ryan is coming from, he don't want it to fall flat like Cyberpunk did when they got released. That's where he's coming from.
There we go.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
But that's what I'm saying though. The fact that because they already stated there's going to be updates, I just don't feel like the base game is going to be on the scale of Cyberpunk. Because Cyberpunk was released with the intention that this is the whole game. And that's when people started finding bugs and got a lackluster experience. Rockstar is telling you guys is that on launch, you are not getting the full game. The fact that they said that updates are coming with new missions and areas should tell you that the initial GTA 6 launch is not going to be the full game. Do not expect the full game.
So that brings me a little technical question. Do we like that?
I guess we'll find out.
Like games as a service has already been a big debate in the gaming community on whether we like it or not. There's some benefits, there's some flaws. But what sucks about games as a service, which is my fear for Rockstar, is that y'all know I got to make my food comparison. Oh my God! It's one thing.
Somebody get 'em.
It's one thing for you to say. It's one thing for you to say you're gonna give me a burger, but it come with one of the buns, not the top bun, the meat, and no ketchup. It's another if I get the meat, the top of the bun, the bottom bun, some ketchup, mustard, and mayo, and then you say, "Hey, we gonna make it a hamburger. We're gonna add lettuce. We're gonna add tomato. We're gonna add onion. We're gonna make it a Big Mac and add a second bottom bun and a second piece of meat." But the thing is one thing if I started with an actual burger and now y'all are enhancing it versus an undeveloped piece of mess that shows that y'all messed my order
this
up.
doesn't sound like it's going to be unfinished. This sounds like your first example that this is your base burger. Now later we're gonna add you some lettuce, some tomato, another piece of meat, and a bun. But for right now, this is your base.
Ketchup on there.
This is your base burger.
Okay.
This is what it sounds like to me.
Whataburger spicy ketchup.
Whataburger spicy ketchup. Now to answer your question of do we like it? Is this a formula that we're going to enjoy? I'm not sure. If they make my answer would be if they make the base game, the base burger. If I bite into it and I'd be like, okay, I can sit with this until y'all come with my lettuce, tomato, cheese, then I think I would be okay. I think the formula will be fine. But if I bite into this base burger and it's like, okay, I really need this lettuce. I really need these tomatoes. Like, I need a double patty right now. That's where I feel like maybe that wasn't the formula to go with.
Right.
So I guess it just depends on what the base game is like. If it's looking to be a good story where we like the female protagonist, we can see where the story is going, the gameplay elements and everything. If we get into it and we like it for what it is in that moment, I feel like we will be okay.
Okay.
So I would hope, but I don't think they're going to give us an unfinished game on launch because that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense because you could have just waited. What's the point of saying that you're going to give us updates and then the first installment of this you give us is not even done?
Right.
You could have just waited. But that's just me. And I feel where we're coming from because we talked about this before with games getting pushed out and rushed and they're not performing. So maybe this is a new formula that Rockstar is trying to avoid that. And we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Okay. Foop says she trusting in Rockstar.
We gonna see. So the last thing I want to talk about, we all gonna have to. We all gonna have to cross it. I mean,
we're gonna quote in the next GTA focus video. We're gonna quote this.
Look, I feel like we have to wait regardless, but I just don't. I don't know. It sounds like to me they trying to get their P's and Q's, get their ducks in a row. But the last thing I want to talk about, our last topic of the day, is Microsoft and Discord have made the partnership to get Discord on Xbox. PlayStation has already made the partnership with Discord. Now Xbox is next. I got 2 hot takes surrounding this topic. The first one is, if they do this right, do we expect to see an increase in the amount of cross-platform play.
Yes. Yes.
So we got a thumbs up from Ryan and a yes from Ralph. So I got a maybe. I did some background research into how is this going to work, and there seems to be a bit of steps. There's a couple steps that you have to take to integrate Discord with your Xbox, which they're not horrible, but I always feel like something like this should always be easy to use for the user. The user shouldn't have to do too much to use the feature. So
our UX design, I see you, comp sci maybe.
So with PlayStation, I'm gonna tell you PlayStation's process first to get connected to Discord, and then we're gonna go back and talk about Xbox. PlayStation, where are my notes? You go to Discord, and you go to your user settings, you go to connections, and then a PlayStation icon is supposed to come up. You set that up, and you're connected. Discord is connected to PlayStation. Xbox, you have to jump between Discord and the Xbox mobile app. You start on Xbox mobile, well, you have to install it. If you don't have it, you have to install it. Then you go to Discord, open your voice channel, and then there is an option to transfer your Discord voice channel to Xbox. And then you have to go back to Xbox mobile and confirm that you want to make that change from using Xbox's voice channel to Discord. And then it gets connected. Looking at it is not a lot of steps, but hopping between two apps is inconvenient, especially in this time of day where apps are integrated to where you could do so much on one app.
Right.
But the fact that you have to hop between two, I could see that as it being a pain point for some people where they don't want to bother with it at all. Or I can see some hiccups in between trying to make that Discord Xbox connection where they would rather just use Discord instead of the integration.
So trying to understand the tech behind it. So when you change it on the Xbox app and you're basically permanently switching to Discord, I'm assuming that to go back to Xbox app, it's not going to do that when you turn the Xbox off or the app off or close it out. It's just going to be permanently set to Discord. The app connects to your Xbox, and every time you get on Xbox and you want to go to party chat, it's going to be like Discord chat or something.
I don't know if it permanently makes the change. I think it's just the option that you want to move your chat to Discord instead of using Xbox's party chat. I don't know if once you change it over that permanently sets it to Discord, or if that's just the steps to get it to be integrated with Discord.
So essentially they're not integrating Discord into the Microsoft software. They're just making it a separate application that you can connect to through your Xbox, almost as if you're treating it like a PC.
That's what it looked like. Now I don't know if that's just the current rollout, because we always know people do soft launches where this is just what you have to do for now, and then later stop doing that. Here's this quick 5-second thing that you can do, and now you're in there.
That's the thing. If it's something I can do once, and if they continue to make it more fluid, I'll bite the bullet and deal with it for now. But I don't like the option where you got to choose. Now, here's the thing. Pretty much every gamer, I don't know the percent of the gaming community that has a Discord, but majority of them do. I would like to assume that the majority of them do are the ones who are more in touch with YouTube and watching streamers got Discord. So it won't be too hard once it's set up. I just hope it's not too much back and forth, because we've all been begging for this. All gamers have been begging for Discord to work on chat ever since cross-platform became a thing, because it is so many issues with it. But I hope it's more fluid than what it sounds through text. That's all I can say. I hope it's more fluid.
Yeah, I'm thinking that
it'll be a lot more fluid once we, cross that bridge of the initial app. it's going to be a lot better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think this is just for now solution, just to get you guys started, because of course you guys made this partnership. You want your users to start using this as soon as possible. What's the easiest way to get this done? It may not be convenient, it may not be the fastest, but this was the easiest way to get Xbox users to start using Discord. And then once that starts getting rolled out, now let's think of the best way to get this in here that we know our users will enjoy.
Right.
Also to note, with Microsoft being, the root of, PCs in general, as being like the main operating system, it'll be easier for them to integrate an app through Microsoft than it would be with Sony or via PlayStation.
Right, and the Xbox is essentially a PC anyway, in the way that they set it up and established it. Like, you would expect, like, not to talk down on Sony, you would expect Sony to be the one that's having software issues with trying to integrate another app compared to the Microsoft Office team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
which
there should be some better. I think there's going to be better integration.
I think it's going to be some better integration. I think this is just there just for now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so we are approaching.
PlayStation had it longer. Had the contract.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point too. So, I don't know, when they first dropped that you could connect Discord to PlayStation, did you hop on it first, Ralph, or did you wait a while?
I'm waiting until they get the full app on PlayStation.
Okay, so maybe PlayStation had the same type of deal, and the process that I just told you guys is something that came later. Now you can do this, but before you maybe had to do the same amount of steps that you did on Xbox.
Right.
I am scared that they're going to get greedy. Remember this part of the video? I'm scared that they're going to get greedy. Discord got their Nitro stuff and everything else. I'm worried that it, like, probably 6 months down the line, after this stuff is more fluid, they might start doing some, you want more than 6 people from different consoles in one party? $5 a month for a $10 yearly subscription, or $10, $15 yearly subscription.
I don't think the only way I could see them doing that is if Microsoft buys out Discord, and then they can do whatever they want. But as long as Discord remains a separate entity outside of Microsoft and outside of Sony, I don't think they're going to do that.
I hope so.
But we are approaching time, guys. I know I said we had another hot take on this topic, but we are pushing an hour 47. Good conversation, though. Glad to have you boys back in the studio. But I know how we can get, and we can keep talking for hours. So
we can talk about this forever.
I want to thank you both, Ron and Ralph, for joining me on another episode of the Blerd Mob. I want to thank everybody who is listening and watching, whether this is your first time or your 50th time watching the Blerd Mob. Thank you for the ongoing support. We truly appreciate it. We are back from hiatus, so I hope you guys are looking forward to more Blerd Mob content, because we are definitely excited to put more out there. And with that being said, Ralph, lead us out.
All right. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Make sure to follow us at Instagram on the Blerd Mob Pod. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at the Blerd Mob. Make sure to follow us on TikTok and Facebook at the Blerd Mob Podcast. And with that being said, peace.
Hands up if you loving where you at, stand 10 toes down, shot ain't no looking mad. You can let them haters hate when they answer while I'm smiling, I just tell them like